Good morning. Welcome to Sunup. I'm Austin Moore. Today we're coming to you from the southeast corner of the state, where trees, not grains, are the major crop.
Forests cover only 17% of Oklahoma's land, yet they provide the third largest agricultural crop. And when you look at value-added dollars, the numbers go through the roof.
Forestry is a huge industry in Oklahoma. You really don't realize it unless you travel to southeast Oklahoma. But it's over $1 billion per year industry. Roughly about 1.5 million acres is pine plantation, and there's a lot of additional forestry that's going on in less intensively managed areas.
Weyerhaeuser is a major player in this industry, managing more than 500,000 acres in Oklahoma. They gave our Dave Deacon a hard hat and a tour of a logging site.
These machines are amazing. With something that looks more like a molar tooth than any saw blade, this feller buncher cuts through the trees like blades of grass and then just lays them down. But that's just the start.
Skidders, you can see over there, they come in, they drag it from the stump to the delimber. The delimber, he processes the wood out, lays it out, the loader sets it out of his way, and he's the one that puts it on the trucks and they take it to the mill.
The tracts average about 120 acres in size, with 500 to 700 trees per acre, and all of that will be harvested in about 2 weeks' time. That keeps these trucks on the road pretty steadily.
Good average would be 30, 35 logs to a load. We're trying to get at least 15 a day. We're averaging 16 right now.
I asked Weyerhaeuser harvest manager and Oklahoma State graduate Corey Baufler to show me around a harvest site.
What we're loading here is what we call topwood fiber. It's going to be going to the paper mill in Valiant, Oklahoma to be processed and be shipped all over the world. But this is kind of the tops of the trees.
Right.
It's got too many limbs and it doesn't meet our grade specification to be turned into lumber at the Idaville facility.
So what happens after this?
After this, we have a early rotation department that will come in here and make a prescription. It could be, they may want to treat some of the hardwood brush. They may want to burn some of these piles, and we don't do any broadcast burning. We do remove some of the piles so we can get those dozers through the rip and get our tree a good rip for our tree to grow in. But basically it'll go to our early rotation department and they'll make some sort of prescription, how to get the best survival and growth out of our seedlings that we're going to plant this winter.
Okay, just for clarification, ripping means they come in and they pull up the root balls and do all that?
Well, it's usually a D8 dozer. It's got just a big shank that we call a ripping shank.
Right.
And it makes kind of like a furrow, fractures the soil and makes a furrow. And that does several different things. It breaks the soil, does a little bit of tillage,
right,
and kind of a little microsite for that tree to grow in. So it's just basically to help your tree get a good head start.
You see, the clear cut is really just the start of the next cycle. Just like with wheat or soybeans or any other crop, you have to harvest, then you replant. Only here, the timing is a little different. Weyerhaeuser harvest manager Ron Doremus explains.
This is about a 4 to 5 year old plantation, and it was put on about 700 trees per acre. It will sit here for 10 to 15 years, and we'll come back and do our first year rotation, which will be a first thin. And then from there it will be pruned, and then it will sit here for another few years, and we try to come back in about 28 to 30 years and do the final harvest again.
What's the target height and width of the tree?
Ideally, we want something 14 to 16 inches in diameter, and height is 40 to 60.
Okay, and then the trees are taken from here. Where do they go?
The trees are taken from the logging site over to the lumber mills, and from there, then they're made into every what is ordered from 2x4s to 2x12s.
Does it stay here in Oklahoma, or is this service?
It does. Lots of it stays in Oklahoma. It's the trees growed in Oklahoma and it's processed in Oklahoma, and lots of the lumber stays in Oklahoma. But we also take some to Arkansas, surrounding states, Mississippi, could go plumb to New York.
With 30 years between harvests, foresters have to keep a long view of their operation.
The way we look at our environmental part is trees today is trees for tomorrow. Whatever we got to do, whether it's water quality, soil, you know, whatever we got to do for future generations to keep it to where my kids can come in and log it, you know, or whatever they decide to do.
One way they address those concerns is with stream management zones, or SMZs. Those are 50-foot buffers surrounding waterways that go largely untouched, as you can see on this map.
We have a contractor paint the blue line, right? So these operators know where the SMZ is. There's not any question, and he'll cut to that blue line, and that's going to be what we call an SMZ to help protect, you know, water quality.
Right.
So, and it also is a good wildlife corridor, travel corridor for wildlife too. So it's got dual function.
And that eye on the long term is comforting, with this industry contributing such a healthy amount to the state economy.